Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Question. When you have someone who each and every time claims of achieving something, sends you pictures with the achievement, when that the same person doesn't send you a picture of a great achievement, what makes you think? Makes me think that that's a lie. And I'll tell you why. Because every time that person bragged about his achievements and sent you a picture as proof, the minute that person breaks that pattern, makes you ask questions. And the obvious question is, how come you sent me pictures of smaller achievements and you don't send me pictures of such a great achievement? It's kind of strange, isn't it? So that person is Zelensky. His achievement, supposedly, allegedly, the Ukrainian armed forces captured hundreds of Russian soldiers during counteroffensive. That's what Zelensky claimed, and this is reported by Ukrainska Pravda, September 17th, 2022. Now, this would be a fantastic moment, opportunity of PR, right? How would you do that? Like the Russians did. And you're better than the Russians, aren't you? Yeah. Pictures, videos of those people patrolling, walking, being like this, or being like that, or being like that, or whatever they do, okay? So, why do I say that? Now, where's the pattern? I tell you where the pattern is. I've seen so many articles from Ukraine. Every time they captured 3 unfortunate Russians, bang, picture with those people, okay, or all right. If they captured Lieutenant Colonel Michael Jackson, you see him down there. If you capture the so-called Wagner Group pilot of that Sukhoi 35, you see him in his underwear walking over there like a duck. We don't have this picture with these guys, and this would be a greater achievement than all the ones I mentioned to you. And this is just a few. I can keep you here maybe for the next 3 minutes telling you how many of these things I looked through and I covered, how many these guys covered, caught, and all that, and the pictures with all these unfortunate people. But all of a sudden, we don't see these hundreds. Why? They couldn't take a picture with all of them like a soccer team? Are you kidding me? They could have done better than that. So, my obvious reason will be, well, how come you didn't show me this time? Because you're nice? And if you're nice now, that means you were not nice 10 times before, or 10,000 times before. So which one is it? You don't have the picture, or you don't have the prisoners? Which one is it? Both? All right, let's see. Ukrainian forces captured several hundred Russian soldiers during the counteroffensive. I thought the Russians did not have soldiers anymore. So how come you capture several hundreds? So they had soldiers, or they didn't have soldiers? Now you make up your mind. Remember, the Russians were depleted, and all of a sudden you capture hundreds? Wow, several hundreds. That's more than 2. Let's say 300s. That's a big number. I didn't know the Russians were still around in this great number. But hey, they know best. Let's move on and see. During the counteroffensive in Kharkiv Oblast, thus making a significant contribution to Ukraine's POW exchange fund. Well, again, another question, Mr. Zelensky. If this is true, why did you ask the Russians to give you their prisoners in exchange of you allowing ammonia, fertilizing, going to Europe? Why didn't you say, you know what, how about, as Peskov said, what about ammonia is the same thing with as humans? You should have said, you know what, okay, you don't like that? Now we got these people here, several hundreds of yours, so how about doing that exchange? And probably Peskov would have said, as smart as he is not, he said, well, we can discuss that, through other channels. Bring it on. So, source, President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine in an interview with Reuters, which Zelensky shared on Telegram. Quote from Zelensky, in any case, I can tell you honestly that Russia holds more our soldiers prisoner than we hold Russian soldiers or mercenaries who work with the Russian Federation's the terrorists. So our goal is to replenish this fund, the prisoner exchange fund. All right. I don't know how the guy speaks, but I try to be like a weasel. I address Russian soldiers. It will be right for them to surrender. We treat them as prisoners of war in accordance with the Geneva Conventions. Our goal is to have more of them so that we can return our soldiers held in Russia. So we have the goal to replenish the fund. And to be honest, this operation, the counteroffensive in Kharkiv Oblast, is dead and in the water right now, has allowed us to make a significant contribution to the prisoner exchange fund. Good for you. Good. Details. When asked how many Russian soldiers were captured during the counteroffensive, Zelensky said there were hundreds of them. Okay, weasel. Background. The armed forces of Ukraine launched a counteroffensive in Kherson Oblast in late August, and soon, I thought it was 1st of September, now it's late August. Also launched a counteroffensive in Kharkiv Oblast, didn't get them anywhere. I don't know. On 10th of September, the Institute of Study of War, impartial not, reported that Ukraine forces have penetrated Russia line to a depth of up to 70 kilometers in some places and reclaimed over 3,000 square kilometers. Hey. I heard 7,000 or 8,000 kilometers. Now you go to 3,000? That's not right. Someone is lying here. Of territory in the past 5 days since September 6th. Okay. Which is more than Russia forces has captured in all their operations still since April. Though Russian forces were leaving behind much of their military equipment as they fled from Kharkiv Oblast, the Russian Ministry of Defense called their withdrawal a planned regrouping, whose aim was to ramp up the offensive on the Donetsk front. I don't believe that either. You regroup, you take from here. This guy is going to come over to attack there. So what you're going to do? You're going to like this. I might take this, but I give you this. And then I might take, but I give you this. What's going on here? I mean, that's for tards. I don't believe that justification whatsoever. And if they did it that way, well, they lost. Maybe they did not expect. And that so-called regrouping was due to the counteroffensive. So what are you talking about? I don't see the connection. So those guys are conducting a counteroffensive. Instead of pushing them back or holding them, we're going to say, no, you know what? Let's go back and help our offensive there. To do what? Maybe encircle them. If that's not what happened, then you lost land and several hundred military that you have over there, according to Zelensky. So what now? Now I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't believe a word Zelensky says, okay? That not that I believe Peskov of others, but at least Peskov I think has more credibility than Zelensky. Zelensky is just a puppet, and not as Peskov is not. But if you take Zelensky, take Putin. Whose puppet is Putin? Whose puppet is Zelensky? United States of America. You got the answer just like that. You don't believe me? Okay, well maybe you need more time to figure it out. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Thank you for watching.